So I recently stumbled across this D&D module called Exoecology for Monster Hunters, about otherworldly horrors invading our world, but with large emphasis placed on the ecology of these invasive alien creatures. They have one of these creatures shown in a preview PDF with a full one-shot that you can play through, and I got permission to talk about it. This is the Twilight Glory Seed Mother, a parasitic plant resembling the Devil's Fingers flower that we can find in our world. It's sentient to some degree, but many of the records of this creature were lost, so we don't know the full extent of its mental capabilities. We do, however, know that it isn't capable of long-term planning and has poor memory, so they can't be that much smarter than the average plant. What makes them dangerous is their insatiable hunger to spread. You probably noticed these red and yellowish vines extending from the bottom of the creature. These are its method of propagation. It looks for weakened or sleeping animals and inserts a vine into their throat, which will steadily administer a sedative. After the victim has been incapacitated, another vine will pierce the chest and mechanically pump the heart and lungs of the creature, reanimating it whilst the vines propagate throughout its body to more easily control the nerves and muscle activity. The vine in its throat will still administer the sedative poison, keeping the animal alive as long as possible so the body doesn't rot. This is because the thralls are not merely used to spread the seed mother's influence, but also their seed, in the form of a black ichor containing hundreds of tiny seedlings. These don't actually grow into new seed mothers, instead serving as a vehicle for infection of new thralls. If the ichor is ingested or otherwise gets into a host's body, the vines will grow inside the victim and turn it into a thrall, which will seek out the network of vines of its seed mother. Vines that aren't connected to the seed mother's network are kept alive by filling themselves with blood from their host, but if no blood is present, they become incredibly brittle and flammable. One of the few ways to contain such an infection is to burn the area around a seed mother infection and periodically clear any vines, though this is easier said than done due to the thrall's other main purpose. They will aggressively engage anything they perceive as hostile or dangerous to their colony, and due to being connected to the seed mother's hive mind of vines, can react in unison when disturbed. However, they too share the weakness of a bad memory and will lose interest if distracted long enough. It is possible to save a thrall that hasn't started rotting yet by removing all the vines from their body. The vine administering the sedative is an easy target, but if the sedative stops, the thrall may become conscious and die due to the panic and shock, triggering an aggressive response from the vines still controlling the thrall's body. It is better to disconnect the thrall from the hive mind and then remove the vines pumping the heart and lungs from the chest. Once those are gone, the rest will wither, though you will need a very experienced medic or healing magic to ensure the victim doesn't expire in that time frame. Saving a thrall that has been infected by ichor is almost impossible, as many microscopic vines will have spread throughout their muscles before their infection became complete, but it is theoretically doable with the right spells or incredible surgical skill. Should you manage to kill a seed mother, a knowledgeable monster hunter may be able to carve special parts from it that can be crafted into helpful items, such as a crown of vines to create your own thralls, or a seed shooter that can poison your enemies. If you'd like to know more about this creature or even play through a one-shot hunting one down, the Exoecology for Monster Hunters Kickstarter has a free preview PDF available with all this info. Again, I'm not sponsored, I just love nerd ecology, so this was right up my alley. I hope you'll check out their module once it's out, and thanks again to the creators for giving me permission to use the artwork and content they created.